What up? I got a new banger from Fox News. This is Tulsi Gabbard issues warning Trump is not messing around. This is from 4 days ago. Let's get into it.
This week, President Trump presided over a Homeland Security Task Force roundtable on the ongoing crackdown on drug cartels.
Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard was there, laying out the grim brutality of these cartel crimes.
The arrest of a Sinaloa cartel boss, El Plato, another dangerous Sinaloa cartel member responsible for tracking huge amounts of cocaine, the arrest of a CJNG cartel-affiliated baby trafficker called La Diabla. Her whole money-making operation was centered around luring pregnant women, performing illegal C-sections, harvesting organs, and selling newborn babies.
And DNI Director Gabbard joins.
Wow, the devil, feminine in Spanish, La Diabla, a lady that was having ladies, if I understood correctly, harvest children and other organs out of other ladies. That is one of the craziest things I've heard in a while. On another completely different note, I love how Tulsi's still rocking the one white streak in her hair. I imagine she's just having the time of her life. On a completely separate note from the story, in this position. Look, she ran for president and now she's director of intelligence. One of the most powerful and for sure most well-informed positions probably in the world. So what a really cool and amazing job she's doing. This, on the other hand, that she's talking about is crazy. We've had so much violence and different things going on that are below board, so to speak, coming from Mexico. Just because, and it's not that Mexico is a bad place, but look, it's not as developed a country as the United States, and there is more corruption. And when you have more corruption, there's going to be more crime. And when you have more crime, it's going to get darker. And there's some really dark things going on in Mexico, and it's super unfortunate. I hope Mexico figures it out, but we can't tolerate that here. I mean, you've got two houses. You can't let that stuff come into your house. You have to protect your house, right? What do you guys think? Drop what you think in the comments.
Just now. So, I mean, you can't even, it's sort of hard to wrap your brain around this. Selling newborn babies and harvesting organs?
Yeah, good morning. It really just speaks to the savagery, the terror, and to the lengths that these cartels are willing to go to further their money-making operations, to continue their trafficking of narcotics, and ultimately the savagery that they have brought to the American people in our own communities. You heard President Trump talk about this for months on the campaign trail, exposing the truth about these things that were happening not in some far-off country, but right here, the terrorizing of our own people in our own communities here in the United States of America. So this Homeland Security Task Force operation that the president has directed really is having already an incredible effect. My organization, ODNI, our National Counterterrorism Team, we're playing an integral role in this in establishing for the first time a National Intelligence Fusion Cell. Why this matters is because it allows us to take the intelligence that we're collecting, foreign intelligence. It allows us to work with our federal, state, and local law enforcement, those who have their boots on the ground on the front lines of this operation, to make sure that we're getting real-time intelligence and information going to the successful operations that I spoke about in that conference with the president the other day, to be able to take people like this evil La Diabla off of the battlefield.
Yeah, La Diabla, by the way, means the Satan, which is certainly, this is very evil stuff. I also remember.
Why did she say the Satan? It's another D word. Why not just say the devil? Anyway, she's talking about having local police basically at her disposal with kind of a national directive. So, I mean, that makes total sense. Her ability, I mean, where does that go, right? Eventually, do we have drones everywhere and the national government's able to control them all? I mean, I don't know. But no, of course it makes sense of course it makes sense that federal protection can happen by utilizing local law enforcement. So yeah, let's keep watching.
Remember that we were told that these kinds of things were conspiracies, that, you know, kids were not having their organs sold. Clearly that is true, and we lost 300,000 children who crossed our border. So I wouldn't be surprised it's happening here. My question to you is, as you partner with the Mexican government, one of the concerns about partnering with a narco state like Mexico is that you could be tipping off the cartels. I mean, how do you know that your partners in Mexico are truly partners when we know that Claudia Sheinbaum, for example, is an ally of Nicolas Maduro? It's every action she's done in the last few months proves that.
Oh, did you hear how she just said Maduro? She's definitely, I guess, is she Latina? Maybe, but she just threw that accent on there like it wasn't nothing.
It's a legitimate question, of course. This is something where we're looking at how we can vet as much as possible, both with the information that we have available, but also through the relationship building that is going on at the lowest level. And these operations that were carried out, that I spoke about, could only have been made possible by working with great Mexican partners in their law enforcement who are just as concerned about these cartels wreaking havoc and terror on their own people as we are about them doing to ours. And this has been really incredible to see how these different law enforcement entities have really risen to the occasion, how some of our, again, through time and testing and vetting, our partners that we work with at the highest levels of the Mexican government have shown their commitment and their lack of corruption. They're putting themselves at great risk and harm because they themselves are standing up against these cartels who have unfortunately ruled the day across Mexico for too long.
And just lastly, in the 10 seconds I've got, Tulsi, I thought it was significant last week that your NCTC put intelligence together that took down El...
Hold on, did he really just say in the 10 seconds I have left? I feel like he should have said 30 seconds. Because now it's like, this is obviously longer than 10 seconds.
Hato, a Sinaloa cartel plaza boss, which is really significant because President Trump shut the border down. But it seems that with that act, it would seem that the administration is sending a message to the plaza bosses who have run our southern border under the Biden administration.
Yes, it's very significant. This operation, I would love to tell you about how it was carried out because our folks, again, who are working now without pay because of the Democrats' government shutdown, worked tirelessly to get this.
And let me just say, that's crazy because the Democrats, because we don't want to pay money to foreign people that have come into the country illegally, basically, that's how I look at it, right? There's no sugarcoating it, right? The Democrat objective was to move people in to become voters. I mean, we have to be honest about that, right? If you don't agree with me, drop a comment below. Let me know. I want to know what you think because, and let's have an intelligent discussion and figure out, you know, be respectful. But anyway, let's see what she says. Let's see a little bit more about what she says.
Guy arrested and behind bars, but also the public messaging that we did on behalf of President Trump shows his seriousness. And this actually played an integral role in his continuing to be behind bars because people are seeing, hey, President Trump is not messing around with this. And if they try to resort to their old games of bribery and all this other stuff, they then will be putting themselves in the target.
Wow.
All right.
You are working on some incredible stuff, taking down evil, and we're really grateful for all that you have done. Thank you so much for joining us, Tulsi Gabbard.
Thank you, Director.
Thanks so much.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
Wow, really cool to see her in that role. I think she was the perfect person for that role, and it'll be very interesting to see. She has a long career ahead of her, and it'll be very interesting to see what she does moving into the future. I think we have a very honest and moral, truthful, powerful, and protective person in Tulsi Gabbard. I think she really knows how to work together with all the people involved to come to the best decision as quickly as possible. That's what I really pray and hope. Well, anyway, guys, let me know your comments below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.